Taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. Welcome to my channel, Just Tree 401. And there was a clip that was making its rounds, and it didn't go viral, but it's from Uncensored Media, a YouTube channel. If I can remember it, I'll give a link. I'll leave a link to the description. And it involves Myron Gaines, who's a homosexual, and some other guy at a college. I don't even know the college. Hold on, let me see if, hold on. Let me just look. Ohio University. Now this clip, again, like there's some clips that are done from Uncensored America, right? Yeah, Uncensored America. And they do go viral, but this was not one of them, but it was pretty good. And people were asking me on Twitter if I could respond to the clip. So I decided to go to Uncensored America's YouTube channel to basically respond to it personally. So like I said, I do appreciate them allowing us to react to the content, and I will, if I don't leave it, let me know and I'll rectify that by leaving the link to the YouTube channel and to this particular video. Now, this video is really long, 3 hours and 35 minutes, but we're only gonna look at about 3 minutes of this. So we're not doing a whole 3 hours and 35 minutes. So here's the thing. If you guys see a section in these long, boring Q&As that Myron does, let me know if there's something that's, pretty interesting, and I'll react to it. So let's go ahead and react to this particular one, because like I said, it didn't go viral, but it did make its rounds. It did catch a lot of views. I would say the maximum views it got was maybe, from what I was looking at, it was probably like at 120,000. So that's pretty low to compare to some of the stuff we had watched. I think the one that went uber viral was the black guy who was reaching into his backpack. That was pretty good. Okay, let's watch this.
So, what's up? Yeah, my name's Kevin. My question to you is, why do you think you'd attract a woman? Like you're saying all these women are sluts. Why do you think you're attracting a woman that is not a slut? And do you think you'll find that woman or your future wife doing what you're doing?
Okay. First of all, Myron is not interested in marrying a woman. Okay. He is not interested in women. I don't know why men, this is why it's so easy for women to cheat on you, because you are not all men. Okay. But it's easy for most women to cheat on you because you're not observant. Myron is gay. Okay. I didn't say allegedly. All right. He's gay. He does not like women, not like sexually anyway. Okay. He did not have a girlfriend at all in high school, in college. Okay. He didn't have any throughout his 20s. And he decided to get his first girlfriend at the age of 35. And he didn't even have sex with her. I don't know why you all keep forgetting that part, is that him and Angie, it was a transactional situation where he get to pretend that he's straight and she gets to have all her bills paid. Okay. And based upon Myron's description, Angie was a slut. He even called her one when the first time she came on the show. Now, I'm not going to go back, and I do have, even though they took that video down, I do have the entire video, but it's not worth enough for me to go and get that clip and put it in here to show that the first time he met Angie, he called her a slut. Okay. So I don't understand why this guy who looks like a Viking warrior, Myron is going to fap to you tonight, honey, or that night, because you are just his type.
Okay, so you're asking me, how do I attract a woman that's not a...
Yeah, I'm just saying, how do you think you attract the woman that you're looking for, that is not a slut or a whatever you're calling those women out there?
Well, I mean, it's not just about attracting them. You have to vet them once you attract them. You have to vet them for 6 months to 1 year because, girls always put on a certain front in the beginning that they're not 304s. So it's on you as the guy to kind of put her through her paces and have a vetting period.
But how will...
Okay. This is we got to vet them through 6 to 12 months. You're trying to bang her on the first time you meet. Okay? The first time you meet, you're trying to get in between her legs. This is why you ladies, you got to understand, people who listen to Myron are either gay themselves or they're undateable, and they basically understand that they'll never ever get a human girl. They'll get sex dolls, but they will never ever get a human girl. Okay? Because do you understand what he just said? He has to vet a girl for 6 to 12 months. You didn't do that with Angie. But we understand that was just an arrangement thing. But men don't vet women for 6 to... Men never vet women for 6 to 12 months. Okay? What is the vetting process? To see how quick he can put his dingling inside of you? Is that the vetting process? And don't get me wrong, women rarely vet that long too. So y'all need to get your act together. But I don't know anybody that vet between 6 to 12 months for the most part. And vetting for women you should remember that vetting does not include sex. But men, vetting includes sex. According to Myron, okay? Myron believes that you have to, this is his philosophy, is that he has to have sex with 50 different women to see who's a hoe or to determine whether he's with a hoe. I don't understand. Because he's gay, he doesn't know how to give dating advice to heterosexual men who prefer women. Okay? That's why he sounds cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He sounds crazy. And I don't understand why this blonde Adonis here is not calling him out on it and like believing that he's straight.
You do that specifically. Could you walk us through it? Or why would you attract a woman like that, you know?
Oh, so you're basically saying, like, how do I get girls?
I'm not talking about girls. I'm talking about a wife. You're talking about.
I'm being extremely
You don't
selective.
like hookup culture, so I'm asking you how you get a wife. You know.
Yeah. I'm saying I'm very selective. Like, I don't just wife up anybody.
Put your money on me, baby. Myron will never get married. And I want you to understand, and I'm talking to ladies and men who understand that Myron is not straight, and the unhinged men who are also DL. Are going to get really crazy and start chimping out in the comments section. I got you, baby. Let's do your thing, okay? But you can't prove me wrong. Here it is, a man who had a boyfriend during his college years. He's never seen with a woman. He's only seen with white men who make him very happy. Now he's soliciting other, I guess you say dating coaches from the past to learn how to attract women in his 30s, his mid-30s. He wants to learn how to do this in his mid-30s. And there are plenty of dating coaches who have had emails that they have shared proving that Myron went to him or went to them. I think it's 2 guys, okay, that he went to ask, how does he pick up girls? Then he decided to teach the very thing that he just learned to his dumbass red pill audience. And he doesn't know from personal experience. He's dopey, geeky, and he's gay. And so therefore, he had to qualify himself as being, I guess you could say, a thought leader of dating by having a woman, she a POS, but she's attractive. She has a nice body, but he wasn't having sex with her, aka Angie. And so, and I'm not going to insert that video. I could really make this video pop by inserting a lot of these qualifiers, but no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna save it for Angie because I got a video that I have to do on Angie again. So you weren't having sex with her. You were basically using her as a translator, as a maid, And as someone where you can brag and say, I got a woman, she packs my condoms. I got a woman, she lets me have sex with other people, blah, blah. And then she end up making you look like a fool on a documentary, right? When you try to pretend that you two are in a serious relationship, and then Louis asks her about being with you having another wife. You're never going to get married. And clip this. Myron Gaines, who's a homosexual, will never get married to a woman. So because he has Muslim parents, and is a Muslim, okay, he did not leave Islam. He cannot marry men, so he's never getting married. When he reached 40, he's never getting married. When he reached 45, he's never getting married. When he reached 50, he's never getting married. He's never getting married. And yet still he tell men that, oh, you should get married and you should have kids. But yet he's not doing it. And the red pill is full of hypocrisy. That's why I'm like, why are y'all taking this clown seriously? Oh, because you're clowns. Got it.
So are you planning on wifing up somebody?
No.
Probably not anytime soon.
Anytime in that whole entire lifestyle. His entire life, he's never getting married. How do y'all not see this? He's never getting married. Listen, Myron had a good thing with Angie until she fell in love with Rollerblade Rico. And then she got a relationship with Rollerblade Rico, and now she's with Tamu Bradley Martin. And even that relationship is on the brinks of, dissolving. But Angie was playing the game. Angie fit the mold. She's attractive. She wasn't black, and, she had a nice body. And even though she had a whole past, a lot of his audience did not know about her whole past. So that's why he was able to repackage her as a nice, chaste woman who keeps her leg closed and let him go out and have sex with other girls, but it was really other men. So that's the thing. This was all a facade. It was all fake so that he can go out and pretend that he knows what he's talking about. But notice that Myron hasn't replaced Angie. Y'all notice that? It's April. We are actually at the anniversary where Angie left Myron to be with Rollerblade Rico. No, sorry. It's May. It's not April. Sorry, my bad. It's May the 3rd. I'm recording this on May the 3rd. So when you guys see this, it's going to be May the 4th. All right. So it's May the 4th. So we are actually during the time last year where Angie left Myron, who's a homosexual, for Rollerblade Rico. And Myron has not replaced her yet. So if Myron was really about his, I guess you could say, his swag, which he doesn't have any, if his game, which he doesn't have any, if he can really get women the way he pretends he can get it, if he really mastered the art of picking up women and getting women, then he should have had replaced Angie already. He should have had a roster. He keeps talking about, I get to have sex with all these girls and blah, blah, blah. Well, you should have a roster. How come you haven't replaced Angie yet? That's because you can't get another woman that's going to basically sign an NDA, pretend to be straight, pretend to be in a relationship with you. I know there's a lot of dumbass men thinking that you two were in a serious relationship, a serious intimate relationship. But those of us who have an IQ above a temperature, okay, a room temperature, we know what's going on. But he hasn't replaced Angie because, well, he knows he can't. And it's going to be hard to find a woman that's going to go and pretend to be that's going to be your beard, pretend to be your intimate girlfriend, that's going to keep quiet, and you're going to have to pay all her bills. So Myron being single right now proves that he doesn't know what he's talking about because he's gay.
When?
Well, I got some goals that I got to hit first before I think about like settling down. You know, the mission comes first.
Yeah, I mean, what's your mission then? Or tell us more about that. I mean, you don't have your whole life to make kids and get a wife, right?
Well, you actually have significantly more time as a man to do that.
Say it again.
I said as a man, you actually have significantly more time to be able to build a family than a woman. Women have a finite amount of time to have children. We don't have to necessarily abide by that biological time clock.
Imagine being 50-year-old telling myself, oh, I can make me some children. Imagine being old and having dust come out your ding-a-ling, talking about you can basically raise kids. No, you're not gonna. You're gonna have sensitive ears. You're not going to be able to get on the ground and play with them. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things at the age of 50 or 55 versus if you're in your mid-20s or even in your 30s. This is just cold. But he has to say this because he knows he's not going to get married. Just like Nick Fuentes he says that he's going to get married in his mid-30s. But like that means that's about what I don't even know how old Nick is right now. But what I'm saying is that Nick is in his late 20s, I do believe, and he still has never been in a relationship. I don't understand how obvious do gay men have to show you that they're gay. Nick has never, unlike Myron at least attempted to pretend to be in a heterosexual relationship. Nick has never been in a relationship with a woman. He loves men. He's unapologetic about that. But it's like, this is the men, like they're so blind to see the obvious signs. So Myron's saying he has plenty of time to be a father. You sure about that?
Do you think it's good to be hooking up as a man?
Hooking up as a man?
I'm saying, like, do you think it's good to hook up with many women as a man then? Do you think that helps finding your wife?
Now, I think in today's society, with the way women are, it is something that helps you quite a bit with vetting out girls that are worthy of a relationship versus ones that aren't, because women nowadays are more promiscuous than ever before. So if you're not able to identify these types of women and not commit to them, and you commit to one accidentally, well, it'll ruin your life.
So here's the thing. Men love hoes. We're going to always say this, ladies. We're going to always tell you this. Stop listening to what these men tell you. They love hoes. They have wifed up hoes. Okay. And look at Andrew. Andrew wifed up a hoe. Okay. She came fully assembled with kids from two other men. And then she had two more out of wedlock while he was with Taraka. And he married her. Men do this all the time. I am not going to shame men for marrying hoes, but let's not pretend that they don't love hoes, okay? A hoe means it's easy sex for him. He can actually get sex. And when these men who are gay, like Myron, who's a homosexual, sit up here and say, well, we have to, because women are so promiscuous, we have to have sex with all of them to see who's worthy of a relationship. What? Huh? You gotta have sex with them first to see if they're worth a relationship. So ladies, do you see what I'm talking about? A heterosexual man would never give this type of advice. In order for me to know, because women are so promiscuous, in order for me to know if they're worthy of a relationship, I gotta stuck them. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have sex with them. It is just BS. This is such BS.
I mean, why do you have to have sex with a woman to find out if she's like the one?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of guys get controlled via sex, right? So their girl pussy whips them. That's why the term is called pussy whipped in the first place. They get pussy whipped, and then they do everything that she says. But if you're able to be in a relationship where she can't leverage sex against you, and you're able to be like, no, or be able to be the dominant figure, regardless of whether she gives you sex or not, her power is gone. That
made no sense. I'm going to rewind this. Hold on. Listen to this. That was no logic whatsoever. That made no sense whatsoever.
Pussy whipped. Their girl, a lot of guys get controlled via sex, right? So their girl pussy whips them. That's why the term is called pussy whipped in the first place. They get pussy whipped, and then they do everything that she says. But if you're able to be in a relationship where she can't leverage sex against you, and you're able to be like, no, or be able to be the dominant figure, regardless of whether she gives you sex or not, her power is gone.
If you are with a woman and you enjoy sex, she has leverage already. If you enjoy having sex with her, she has leverage. However, it's not about having sex with her or not, because if she denies you sex, then you're going to be mad. And this is why I tell you ladies that when you're meeting these men, okay, you don't have sex with them. You let them know, listen, if you're looking to have sex with me, let them know like, hey, I'm just going to wait, and let them know you have a roster. Say, I have a roster. You can have a roster too. I'm not going to have sex with the men on my roster. You're going to probably have sex with the women on your roster, because men who have a roster, that their roster is different than women who have a roster. Okay. Women could have a roster and see who is going to court her and basically be your best friend. Like when I met my husband was my best friend before we got married. So women are going to go that route. And the best way to find out if somebody's going to be your best friend is keep your legs closed. Don't have sex with them. Okay. The ones who just want you for sex, they're going to drop off. They're going to leave. They're not going to put up with it. They're like, you want me to spend time with you, to be out with you, and I'm not getting anything, and they're going to eliminate themselves off your roster. And you just take your pen, okay, take your pencil and just cross them out. That's fine. So what Myron, who's a homosexual, doesn't understand, that if a man and have sex with a woman and he enjoys that sex, she has leverage. If he has sex with a woman and it's like, he's like, I could take it or leave it, she doesn't have leverage. So whether she says no or not, if he enjoys having sex with her as well as enjoy her, she will have leverage. But if she is someone he's not impressed with, if he was if she was somebody she gave it up real quick and, and she seems like a pick-me, then he's not going to be impressed by her, and he's not going to want to be in a relationship with her. She's going to always be a side piece. So do you see the difference between a man that is straight and a man that is gay, in a relationship? He is talking from a gay perspective. This is not good advice for a straight man, because again, if a woman can control you, with her sex, she has leverage. She has leverage. The only way she would not have leverage is if she is somebody you can dump and say you're just a side piece. Side pieces don't have leverages. They never do. And that's the reason, like, you're going to always have women that are going to give it up real quick. And these men don't respect these type of women, but the women that are about quality, and you will get what you attract. Okay. So if you're on that level, you will attract a quality man. But if you on that whole level or side piece level or pick me level, you're going to get the trash. Ask Megan. Mm-hmm.
That's where I want men to be, with that abundance mindset.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the science behind it, but I'm pretty sure there is also evidence in general for men too. If you hook up with too many women, that you're not able to build that serious relationship anymore, and you're detached.
Not nearly to the same degree, because for us, we don't have the same emotional connection to sex that women do.
You don't know women. Listen, and I'm just going by what I'm seeing. Women are pleasantly surprising me. They are not emotionally connected to casual sex. What they seem to be connected to is relationships with men, and then when it doesn't work out, whether it's because he's cheating or he's broke or he's a dusty, or you found out he has a secret baby mama or what, I don't know what it is, but she tends, not all, but some of them tend to be upset because they gave their essence, they gave their all. And this is the reason why, and what all those women have done, there's no exception to this rule. You had sex too soon. You had sex too soon. Keep your legs closed. Keep your legs closed and get to know these men. And trust me, they will eliminate themselves. No man is going to wait 6 months and then court you in those 6 months if he's only looking to bang you. He's too invested into you. He put too much time and effort into you, sometimes money, and they're not going to just like, oh, I can't, once I get the coochie, I'm out. It doesn't work like that, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. It's so obvious that Myron doesn't know what he's talking about. But to men who are inexperienced with relationships, they think he is Nostradamus.
Maybe that's true to an extent, for sure.
It's very true.
Yeah. That's it. Thanks.
No worries.
Wait a minute. I thought he came out again. I could have sworn he came out here with another one and they had a back and forth. He didn't give up that quick. Hold on. Let me fast forward the video. I'll be right back. Okay. I wasn't hallucinating. So this clip we're about to see now, this is the clip that is making its rounds on Twitter. What I just reacted to, that was not the clip that was going around. So the guy did come back because I'm like, I don't remember him giving up this quickly. So here's part 2. We'll call him the Viking God, I guess. Very handsome young man, okay? With an accent. I don't even know what the accent is from, but let's go here. This is round 2 of him coming to Myron.
Hey, I'm back again.
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't finished the conversation before. But, so basically, how old are you? I don't know how old you are.
How old am I?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Oh, 36? Okay, no, I was just wondering, you're kind of, or don't you think it's a little hypocritical of you that you're 36, you're talking about having a traditional family and everything, but you're still hooking up with people, and you're saying that's acceptable as a man. So when do you think you'll have a family? Because 36, you'll turn 40, and then 50's already around the corner.
He's not going to have a relationship and a marriage with a woman. He is gay, and I'm not saying that as a slur. I don't call men gay as a slur. That's not, I call it as a matter of fact. Okay? He's 36 because he's not even in a relationship. He hasn't replaced Angie. Okay? And he ain't doing anything with women at all. So I don't understand what you're talking about. He himself says all he does is work in that apartment studio where they film the podcast. So I don't understand why the Viking Adonis or the Viking God or Ragnar here is asking these questions.
Well, here's the thing. Number one, I got a bunch of goals that I got to hit first. And then number 2, it would be irresponsible for me to have a family at this point, right?
How? Listen, this is also BS. He's saying, I got a lot of goals that hit first. What goals that you have to hit first will prevent you from having a family? Like, what goals do you have to have first where you can't have a family before then or during then? Because you have men who are in the process of building a business and they have a wife and kids, and they're still able to build their business. So because these men don't ask detailed questions like, what kind of goals do you have to accomplish first before you get a wife and kids? I've never heard such a thing. You have men that are in dangerous occupations where they're in the military, they're in the police force, they're firefighters, okay? They're dealing with chemical waste in the nuclear power plant. These men have families, and there's a chance that they won't come home, but yet still they have families and they have goals they wish to achieve. What kind of goal does a man have where he can't have a family? I don't understand this. You're not having the children. You're not the one who have to give birth to them. You're not the one that have to raise them. So what kind of goal what kind of goals that you have to achieve first that you're not going to be able to achieve because you have kids being raised by a woman at the house? This is what I'm saying. He is lying. He's never going to get married. All right. He's never going to have kids. He's not. And because you all have like a very short memory, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you're not going to call him out on it. You're not going to say, oh yeah, Myron, 15 years ago, you said you were going to get married. He's going to say the same excuse. Oh, I got to get some goals. I got to get this. He's not. He's into men, not women. He's just lying to you.
Right, so I'm kind of waiting until I have things in play, and then I'll go ahead and...
Like what? Like what? What do you have to have in play that's preventing you from getting married and having kids besides you being gay?
That family. But one of the benefits as a man, you don't necessarily have to have a family as soon as a woman, right? Like for us, it takes time. Here's the thing.
First of all, that's not true. Thanks to science, women can have children in their 50s. And I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying that women are now having children in their 50s. Also, you have surrogacy. And so women can even wait in their 60s if they want to. I don't think no woman want to. Like, who want to be in their 60s with some crying child? I don't think no woman wants that. But to sit up here and think that you as a man, all up in your 50s and your 60s, will have the stamina and the attention span and the energy to deal with toddlers or babies or young children is delusional. This is the reason why when these old ass men have children with very young women, they always have a nanny or a babysitter so to help raise the children with the young mothers, because he ain't gonna be there. He's gonna be too busy out working. He doesn't have to be there to deal with the kids, the diaper changing, the crying, the messes, the glass breaking, the other things, the questions, the constant questions, the fighting with each other, the crying, the yelling and stuff like that, the temper tantrums. He doesn't have to deal with that because he's not in the home. And the older that a man gets, the less he wants to deal with that type of noise. So he's just basically lying out his mouth.
That make a man attractive take time to acquire: status, resources, competency, life experience to be a good leader. So
you have no dating experience with women, yet and still you're giving dating experience with a woman. You are financially successful, hence why you was able to give Angie 3 credit cards. Pay for all her bills, pay for her apartment, basically provide for her. You was a provider for Angie, although a gay provider, a provider nonetheless. So you have the status, you have the money, yet still you're like, I got some goals I gotta get accomplished first before I get into a relationship. Like, shut up, dude.
For me, I'm not gonna have a family until I'm ready. And then also,
you're never gonna be ready. You're never gonna have a family. Okay, I'm telling you all, I know what I'm talking about. I have never been wrong about Myron so far. Okay, he's never going to get married. He's never going to have a family.
When I'm probably not in the limelight as much.
So what's the definition of a traditional man then for you? Because you're talking about traditional families and that the divorce rate is high. Don't you think that the hookup culture of men also contributes to that?
So being a protector and a provider is what a man's supposed to do. But luckily for us, we can do that later on in life.
What? Myron is because Myron wants to make an excuse for why he's not getting married because he's gay, all right? But he wants to give this illusion of that he is straight, so he's waiting longer in life. He's saying that he has that option to wait longer in life. Therefore, he can prolong the traditional lifestyle. He can do it later in life. Can you though? Can you? Like men, I'm not talking about the dumb men and the low IQ men and the men who are red pill. I really am asking this question to mature, honest, good faith men. Do you really want to start a family well in your 40s, then start it when you're in your late 20s or your 30s? Don't you think? I would believe that your 30s would be a perfect time to start a family, but you know, the earlier that you started, like I'm not saying 19 or in your 20s, early 20s, I would say around about once you reach 27, are you saying you're better off raising a family in your 40s or your 50s than earlier in your life in your late 20s and your 30s? Are you really going to sit up here and say that? Okay, just and please spare me with the fact that you got to have 7 digits in the bank. Okay, spare me that. And you got to be a high value man with a Bugatti. Are you really seriously telling me that you will be better off physically, mentally, and emotionally to raise children when you are in your 40s, 50s, and 60s versus your 20s and your 30s? I really, only mature men. If you are immature, I will block you. I will ban you from my chat. I do not want unhinged, emotionally immature men giving me the answer in the chat. In the comment section.
No, 100%. But I mean, I feel like you didn't fully answer my question.
He didn't.
What I'm asking more, let's say in the past, like people say always, oh yeah, in the past it was better, we were more traditional, people were always together. But in the past, the man also didn't hook up like they do nowadays.
Yeah, because that you have to deal with the new norm. Women now are not the women of before from traditional society, right? So, like, it's not 1956, it's 2026, and women have changed significantly. So, guys have to arm themselves with certain skill sets that they didn't have back then to deal with the new normal and dating landscape that we have now.
Like what? Like what? What did men have or didn't have back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s that they have and don't have now? I can tell you what women didn't have back then that they have now. Back then, they didn't have the power to have their own bank account. They didn't have the power to control whether they can have children or not. So they didn't have freedom of birth control. Okay, so they didn't have that back then where they have that now. They did not have the option to own property without a husband or daddy or their brother. They have that now. They don't need a man to own property. There was a lot of rights that women did not have back in the traditional years that they have now. So I can tell you what women, and basically it has been a good thing for women, right? You can sit up here and say repeal the 19th. That's just like saying repeal the 13th Amendment. It's never going to happen. You're just basically wishing something that's never going to happen, like you wishing that you were white. Anyway, so, you know, you're not being specific. You are being vague. And the college students that are talking to you are not asking you to be specific on what was necessary that the man has to have now that he didn't have back then when women didn't have the rights that they have today.
I don't know who's this song from, but there is a song, it's called It's a Man's World. And I mean, if you believe like the man's like, he's setting the standard and he should be superior and like being the leader, I think that the man should also be the leader in terms of that. If a man, you're basically just following into the system if you're hooking up, you know?
Here's the thing, too. And this is the reason why I cannot get behind a lot of these radical women, not radical feminists, but a lot of these women who want to always yell and blame the patriarchy. See, I don't believe this is a man's world. I don't. That's the difference between a lot of these women who want to sit up here and blame men for everything versus a woman like me, because I understand how powerful I am as a woman. All right. This ain't no man's world. This is our world. Okay. We are letting the men think it's that world because of the ego and the low self-esteem, saying the narcissistic mentality, but it's really our world. They're chasing us. They're making all this money for us. They are trying to impress us. They are constantly ruining their lives for women. So if we are the prize, which we are, then how is this a man's world? But I totally understand what he's saying. He's saying that why must a man's decision be based upon what women will and will not do if this is a man's world? He has a good point. But the fact that you have to ask that question proves that it's not a man's world. Because if it was a man's world, you wouldn't care what we do as women. Now, Myron would love it to be a man's world because it would only deal with men. Men will live with each other, which is what he wants. He doesn't want men to live with their baby mamas or mamas or girlfriends or wives. He said, y'all know I'm telling the truth on this. Men live with other men. He wants men to bond with other men. He even promotes the app, which is, what is it? It's not Tinder. Oh my God, I just forgot the gay app that quick. He talks about the gay app, which is on my Twitter, okay, where I showed the clip where he says that men on men hookups are non-transactional. It's just to basically get yourself off sexually and then go about your business. So that is his version of a man's world. But the fact that he has to tell another heterosexual man that he must adjust his actions based upon a woman proves that this is not a man's world.
So you're just fueling it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm able to wake up a bunch of guys, tell them what it is, use my platform to do that, and tell them this is what you should be looking for, right? Don't be in a rush to settle down. Don't be in a rush to commit to girls that don't deserve that long-term relationship, because the reality is girls are going to do what they're going to do anyway. We're way far gone past going backwards.
The girls only are able to do it if the man is doing it as well.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to explain to you, though, is that we live in a gynocentric social order, okay? What I mean by this is the female way of thinking and what women want typically comes first. So what men need to do is deal with this new normal, understand that women have changed, adapt to that, and then once you find a girl that's worthy,
Why
then
do
you
we
give
have
her...
to
You gotta let
adapt?
me finish, bro.
You have to adapt because it's not a man's world!
Boom, headshot!
What you doing? Ragnar? Look, Broof? The Viking? Yes, you have to adapt to us. We are the prize. It's our world. This is why I don't understand. You ladies don't understand. It's not no man's world. It ain't about the patriarchy. Myron just said because women have changed, men have to adopt. He is correct. We're the prize. We dictate to how it is. Now, we can't do, I'm sorry, it's unfortunate that you got the pick-me's messing it up. It's unfortunately you got the women who don't know their value and just doing anything for just a crumble or morsel of validation. You're going to have these low-tier women, but then that makes the women who know their worth, who know their power, okay? That makes us exceptional. That makes us we in a different class. We're sitting at a different table and them heifers can't eat with us. He just said because we change. If it was a man's world, whether we change or not, they would not have to accommodate us. They would not have to change their playbook to cater to us, to sit up here and basically get us. If it's really a man's world, but it's not a man's world. Because if it was, why does a man have to change his ways because of women? If it's a man's world. If it's a man's world, but it's not a man's world.
Just yapping.
Sorry. I'm not yapping. You're the yapper right here. No.
So,
hey, be respectful, you know?
Yeah, but
well.
dude, you keep interjecting and asking these like ridiculous questions.
Because you're
avoiding,
you're not fully answering the
because I am answering it, but you just don't like the answer. You're asking again another way.
So he's being triggered, and this is the thing about Myron. This is the reason why I don't really watch I don't watch any of Myron's debates because of stuff like this. He's easy to trigger and get flustered and get frustrated when you call him out on his stuff. Like, for example, this was a good comeback from the guy where he says, if this is a man's world, why do we have to basically regroup and cater to women? Which is a valid question. Myron don't have an answer because he's gay. So he doesn't know how to think like a straight man given heterosexual advice about dealing with women as a man.
That's what it is. You just don't like the answer. And I'm trying to explain to you that times have changed and men need to have different skill sets than they had before so they can deal with the new landscape and find and vet girls that are worthy of a relationship, and have the only way they're going to get these skill sets is being with women and figuring it out.
But why do we have to adapt and can't change the standard? You know what I mean?
But this is a good question. Why, if this is a man's world, why do men have to change and adapt based upon the actions of women? This is, when somebody showed me this, I was like, oh, I can eat really good off of this. But it just goes to prove you, ladies, this is why I want y'all to stop listening to stupid women talking about something. Oh, it's men that blame the patriarchy. No, they're not. These are women who they're like people who blame the Jews, okay? All right? They blame the Jews because the Jews are better than them, okay? So these are women who are giving their power to men. You give birth to men and you think that they're the ones that's controlling you. Girl, I can't sit with you heifers because y'all so local.
Again,
because
otherwise the world won't change. If we just adapt,
women are not going to concede.
Then it won't change.
Women are not going to concede any of the ground that they've gained.
That's true.
You're not going to get them back in the kitchen forcefully, even though that'd be awesome. They're not going to stop going to school.
Yeah, gay men like you would like to force us in the kitchen so you can have time with the men. Okay, that's what you would love to do.
They're not going to stop getting a career. They're not going to stop earning money and trying to be their own, female boss. Feminism has been doing this for several decades. So all you can do is adapt to the new normal, find a girl that's worthy, then give her the traditional treatment if she deserves it.
How could you give a woman the traditional treatment when you yourself are not traditional? How can you give a girl the traditional treatment when you just admitted that women are no longer traditional? See, a lot of these stupid men like Myron don't even know the definition of traditional. If anybody is listening to me right now, you should make Myron define what is traditional, because nobody right now in the year of 2026 is living like no one in America, no one in this country, all right, the United States of America, are living the traditional lives of a woman of men and women, couples, husband and wife, from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, not even the 70s, okay? Because I think the sexual revolution happened during that time, and that's when birth control came out. That's when women had an option to do abortions, blah, blah, blah. So no one is living that traditional life today. So what are you talking about? How can you give her the traditional, a traditional relationship when you yourself are not traditional and she's not traditional? Because back then, a woman couldn't divorce a man if he beat her. There was no such thing as SA in a marriage. So that has changed. The tradition of yesterday is not the same today. I guess they want to sit up here and say tradition is a stay-at-home mom. Not really. Not really. And also, based upon this economy, a lot of men cannot raise, they don't have enough money for a stay-at-home mom and kids. So I don't know what he's talking about. This guy is doing well, but Myron is getting flustered because the man he's sexually attracted to is not basically buying his BS.
But now we're again to the same question. Why do you have to hook up to achieve that, you know? So,
because you need to be able to identify girls that are not worthy of a long-term relationship.
okay. I mean,
You have to identify girls that are not worthy of a long-term relationship. Okay. Let's say, for instance, and I could be straw manning him because he's not specific, but Myron is saying that in order for you to determine if a girl is worthy of a long-term relationship, you have to try to sleep with her. So therefore you are agreeing with me by when I tell women to keep their legs closed, because it sounds to me, like I said, I could be straw manning his argument here because he's not specific. It sounds to me that as soon as she opens up her legs to you, she is classified as a hoe. So therefore, she's not worthy of a traditional relationship, or she's not worthy of you being in a relationship. So if she's quick to give up the panties, then you hit it, what do you call it? Pump and dump, right? And then you go to the next girl, you pump and dump. And then I guess when you finally get to a girl or a female that's like, nah, we don't do that here. Let's get to know each other. Let's get to build together. Let's get to become friends first. And then that's when, I guess you're saying that's when he realized that he found the right one. I mean, if that's the case, then you agree with me when I tell women to keep their legs closed.
I mean, I don't fully agree with you, but that's all right. So, have a good
Okay,
one.
if you got a boxing match, are you going to train?
Yeah, I'm gonna train.
Okay, so what if I told you that in 10 years you have the biggest fight of your life where half your money's on the line, your children are on the line, everything that you work for is on the line? Wouldn't it make sense for you to train before that boxing match?
And that's what I'm talking about. This is a low IQ person. I don't understand how you all think that Myron is good at debating. This is the reason why when he's always challenged by people. Who was the most recent person that challenged? Nick, not Nick Fuentes, but the Nick guy that made Sneeko look stupid. Nick challenged Myron, and Myron's like, no. Myron totally said no, because Myron understood that this guy is way out of his league when it comes to intelligence. How do you compare a guy who has to fight in a boxing match to a man who wants to be promiscuous and have sex according to you with 50 or more women to determine who deserves a relationship? That's a false comparison. But according to Myron here, that's an Einstein comparison. You are literally comparing apples to hammers and nails.
It will make sense to train, yeah.
There you go. You got to f these first and figure it out.
But that.
How is that a good comparison? So you're saying that, oh God, I think I'm getting dumb like Myron by actually engaging with this stupid hypothetical. So the only way you could tell if a woman is worthy of a relationship is by having sex with her. So either you have sex with her or you don't have sex with her. So if you don't have sex with her, is she not worthy? You understand, these are the questions that they're not following up with. He's saying they got to see if she's worthy if you have sex with her. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Not the best metaphor you chose right now.
It's not the best. It's not the best metaphor. But he's not intelligent. He thought he ate, though. Myron Gaines, who's a homosexual, thought he ate with that example. Yeah. This when you gotta bang these hoes. You know what I'm saying?
But I know. So it's all good.
Okay.
It was good talking to you.
I think everybody else gets it.
Okay. Woo, we're not going to go to, I don't even know what this person is, but that clip that we just saw is the one that was gaining traction. So, I'm, I'm glad we got a chance to look at this video. I'm so glad we got a chance to react to it. Expect more to come, ladies and gentlemen. I got one more scripted video to do, and then after that we can start doing some more reaction videos and stuff like that. So thank you so much for watching my video. Let me know what you think about this by leaving a comment below this video. Don't forget to give me a like, and if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, taters. For exclusive content not shown here on my channel, please go join my Patreon at patreon.com/justtreat411.